The 36-year-old woman, Mi Li, holds a master's degree from a prestigious university. She often refers to herself as a high-quality older single woman and frequently shares on social media the many difficulties she encounters while seeking a partner.
So what do we got going on here? Well, this is a video regarding Chinese women. Apparently Chinese women have drank the Kool-Aid. They're all a bunch of feminists now, and they're putting career ahead of family and marriage. So they're struggling just like the American women are. And I've heard this about Chinese women, like stay away from them. Don't date Chinese women. They are not, they're not good partners. And they have a similar attitude to American women. And I don't know if that's true. I don't know very many Chinese women. The Chinese women I've met have seemed fine. I don't know. I never got to really know them. So there was one that I did spend quite a bit of time with actually. And she was very much not like any other Chinese woman I had ever met. She was very open and out and very tall too, which is weird. But apparently, you know, feminism is affecting the entire world, especially the two largest superpowers in the world. So let's take a look at this video and see what is going on in China. Before we dive in, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure that you're still subscribed. You can find me over on Rumble and on Twitter. Thank you all for stopping by. I do appreciate you supporting my work.
我感觉好崩溃啊。
I feel so overwhelmed. It feels like all the bad things are happening at once over the past couple of days. I really wish I had someone to share the burden with, but I feel like I may never find a partner in this lifetime. I feel so helpless. Right now, it's not just about having someone who wants me. I feel like my existence in this world is kind of redundant. I'm already 36 years old and have no value in the dating market. No reproductive value either. My emotions aren't stable, my personality isn't great, and I don't have much money. So I can't provide economic value or emotional value, and not even appearance value. It's only natural that people would reject me. But how am I...
Wow. she said it like it is. You hear the opposite coming from American women. I'm better now at 36 than I was at 26. Maybe financially, but I don't care about that. I've had to pay my own way pretty much my whole life. I did have a sugar mama once when I was 20. She was older than me, had a lot of money. So she did pay for a lot of my stuff, but I didn't need any of that stuff. I don't need that stuff. What do men need? They need a hot woman and a warm bed. And then when she's done, she turns into a sandwich and a beer. That's really what we need. I don't know what to tell you, ladies. If you're not going to do those things, then... what else is there? And as far as your personality is concerned, if she's worried about her personality, maybe that's a big deal to Chinese men. American men, I mean, I don't think that American men are like, oh, I need to have a chick who's like got a really cool personality. Unless that really cool personality is like not going to be loyal and devoted to you. We don't need somebody that we can like have in-depth conversations with. We need somebody who's going to get along with us. That's really the important part. Is that what you're talking about with personality? Because other than getting along with us, men don't really need that much from their woman.
supposed to keep going? The 36-year-old woman, Mi Li, holds a master's degree from a prestigious university. She often refers to herself as a high-quality older single woman and frequently shares on social media the many difficulties she encounters while seeking a partner.
I do want to point out one thing here. Look at Mi Li here and compare her to the average 36-year-old American woman. Holy crap. At least she has one thing going for her. Like, she's like, I'm not very good looking, but compared to the average 36-year-old American woman, holy, she's a freaking supermodel.
She also discusses her feelings of loneliness and the pressure from family and friends to get married. On June 17th, she broke down in tears, regretting that she missed the prime time for marriage due to her focus on her career. Now, being single, she feels an...
And there it is. I understand you want to have a career, you want to have your own money, you want to make your own way, you want to prove that you can do it. All these different reasons why you want to... There's societal pressure, there's family pressure, all these different reasons why you want to do the career thing, ladies. But you have a limited amount of time to lock down a man and start a family. If you want that, that should be your number one priority when you're starting out. You can put the career off until you're a little bit older. Like, I really didn't get started in my career until I was older. I didn't graduate college until I was 28. So I was a late bloomer. I started late. And there's a guy that I work with now who actually started when he was older than me. He didn't even go to college until he was like 28 or 29, something like that. And then he went to college and got his degree in animation. And now he teaches at the school I teach at. So.
Overwhelming sense of anxiety. Mi Li's tears convey a clear message to all young women. Do not miss the best time to get married. She reminds them that marriage is not only an emotional support, but also a guarantee and foundation for life, urging them not to repeat her mistakes. In her video, Mi Li regretfully stated, "I used to give myself many excuses, thinking that marriage was not important and that career was the most important thing, but now it seems that these were just excuses I made to deceive myself." Mili's video resonated with many users on social media, inspiring many to reflect on themselves. In the comment section, some people said, "When you're young, you always think there's plenty of time, but in an instant, you become an older single woman." Others remarked, "I hope this reminds women chasing their careers that marriage is not a constraint, but true freedom." Some others comforted her, commenting, "It's okay if you can't find someone. Make peace with yourself and stop forcing yourself to look."
This middle comment here is brilliant. I hope this reminds women chasing their careers that marriage is not a constraint, but true freedom. Yeah. If you can arrange it, ladies, so that you have a man who's doing all of the earning and you're at home raising the kids. You know, my mother, looking back, she was a stay-at-home mom. What a lazy sack of crap. She did do a lot of stuff around the house. She wasn't lazy in that regard, but she was so selfish and self-centered. Everything was about what she wanted to do. If she didn't want to do it, it wasn't happening. It was very much about her. This is what I'm doing. This is how I'm going to do it. This is how it's going to be done. Period. There was like no compromise there.
Emotional counselor Wang Lingguo posted a video on Douyin on July 19th sharing,
"If you're getting older and still single, you actually don't have to feel too bad about it. Who says getting married will definitely make you feel happy? Maybe staying single at this age is just saving you from suffering, so try to be more optimistic."
Mili's situation prompts people to ponder whether women's pursuit of a career has surpassed their desire for a happy life. In society, many people are so immersed in competition that they neglect the warmth of family and love. This also leads people to reevaluate the importance and significance of marriage. While a career is important, a healthy family and happy marriage are also worth striving for. Nowadays, more and more older single women are openly seeking marriage on social media. On July 19th, a 36-year-old single woman, Miss Zhou, posted a video on Douyin.
感谢德爸爸把我这条推荐给全国的单身人士。
Thank you, Douyin, for recommending my video to single people all over the country. Many people have commented, saying I'm brave to come to this platform alone to find a partner, facing all the doubts, confusion, and ridicule. It's not about being brave, it's about being responsible for myself. Don't believe sayings like, if you build it, they will come. I know too many excellent women who are still single despite their age. I don't want to be an internet celebrity, but if exposure brings me more visibility and helps me find a partner faster, it's a blessing. So we all need to be a little braver. Happiness is something you have to seize, fight for, and strive for.
来到著名的皇家公园向新角来碰碰运气。
Today, I came to the famous Shanghai Royal Park matchmaking corner to try my luck. It's 9 a.m. and there are so many people here. It's really hot and I see parents who are incredibly worried about finding partners for their children. Today, I feel there are many excellent girls here, many with PhDs who studied abroad. I feel like I'm out of luck. If such excellent people can't find someone, it's even harder for an ordinary person like me. This 36-year-old intelligent beauty, Miss Zhou, is 1.75 meters tall. She's publicly seeking marriage on social media.
That's tall, by the way, in case you didn't know. I'm guessing that's around 5'8", 5'9". So for a girl, that's tall.
Challenging herself to find a partner in 100 days and to get married in 200 days. She hopes to find a compatible partner who shares her pursuit of a spiritual life, but reality leaves her feeling helpless. Since June 1st, when she first posted her video, over 50 days have passed, and she has posted more than 40 episodes, yet she has not found a suitable man. Will Miss Zhou succeed? Another 36-year-old single woman, Xiao Han, is also publicly seeking marriage on Douyin. But her criteria might make potential partners shy away. I only have 4 requirements for a partner. First, you must settle down in the Zhejiang, Shanghai area. I don't accept long-distance relationships. I'm in Suzhou, and it's okay if you settle down nearby. If you're from another place, you need to buy a house and settle here. Second, you must be good-looking, pleasing to the eye, and no shorter than 1.7 meters. Third, you need a stable income, with an annual salary of no less than 300,000 yuan before or after taxes.
Wow, not demanding much, is she? You have to be good-looking. I'm sorry, this woman is not that good looking, in my opinion. She's all right, average, right? In the face, that's what we see. Maybe she has a rockin' body on her. She just has like a freaking 10 out of 10 body. But the fact that you have to be good looking, pleasing to the eye. You have to be a certain height. What is that certain height? So it's 1.7 meters. That's taller than me. I'm already out. I'm good looking. Hey, I'm not tall enough. Sorry. Can't be with me. Now, maybe she's 1.7 meters. Then I could understand. But most likely she's a Chinese woman. She's probably like 1.5 meters at the most, right? 1.5 meter tall. Is it like 4'9" or 4'11", something like that?
Which proves your ability to earn a living. Fourth, we need a betrothal gift for marriage, but I'll match whatever you give as a dowry. Can you meet these 4 requirements? Xiao Han's criteria for choosing a partner have inspired reflection on social media. Her views reflect those of many older single women. As they age, gain experience, and succeed in their careers, their requirements for a partner become higher. A counselor at a marriage agency believes that the difficulty older single women face in getting married is because they view themselves as luxury goods, sticking by their standards indefinitely.
Yeah, you have to play the odds. As you know, like if I were to step out into the dating market today, my standards would have to be lower, or else I would have to improve myself in some way beyond my physical appearance. That's what I relied on when I was dating to get interest from women, but that's gone. Well, it's not really gone, but women could look at me and see that, like, if I go up to a 25-year-old woman, she's going to be able to tell, hey, he's older. Do I want to be with a man who's this much older than me? Some women are like, yeah. Sometimes my students, my female students are like, hey, you're pretty cute. You know, you want to, maybe. That does happen. It's happened to me a few times since I started teaching. And these girls are young. Some are as young as like 20 years old or 19 years old, something like that. So that does happen, but it's the exception, not the rule.
Any older single woman who remains single has a low cost to performance ratio, according to a male member who recently broke up with his girlfriend. He said that older single women who consider themselves high quality, regardless of how beautiful, educated, or free they appear, have unrealistic expectations if they're still single. Those wanting to marry don't want to marry them, and those wanting to marry them aren't good enough in their eyes. It's all about having too high expectations when it...
Yep, this is what we say all the time. Women's expectations are, I want a top 10 man, I want a top 10% man, top tier man. Are you a top tier woman? Okay, maybe in the looks department, like this woman right here looking at her figure, she looks pretty good. Her legs are a little bit thick, I think. But aside from that, her figure is on point. But what is it that I'm looking for in a wife? Am I looking for somebody who is just good to look at? Or do I need other qualities to go along with that? And if I'm looking to have kids, how old are you? Are you 36? Well, we got to get married now, and you got to have kids now. Because if we put it off, it's going to become a risk to you, a risk to the child. It's not a big increase, but still it's something that we're going to have to worry about, and maybe we have to do IVF or something like that. So if I'm looking to have kids, start a family with a 36-year-old woman, that's kind of pushing it. You know, you have to start now. We'd have to start right now. And I don't really know you. Are you going to be a good long-term partner for me?
When it comes to marriage. I said to him, women who are beautiful, highly educated, and earn incomes should have advantages, right? He sighed and said, she's beautiful, but so are 20-year-olds with lower demands. She graduated from a top university, but there are plenty of such graduates in big cities. She earns 20,000 yuan a month.
I like how they just glossed over that. 20-year-olds are beautiful too, and they have fewer demands. They didn't even like explore that idea. Maybe they do later on in the video.
But she doesn't share it with me and instead uses it as leverage to demand more money from me. It would be better if she earned nothing. She promises to have a child in 5 years and raise it well, but who can know if she can even have a child in 5 years? Young women are beautiful too, and they can raise children without being so materialistic. He also said that men in the age for marriage should avoid women over 35, as luxury items are rarely bought. Besides, many women think they are luxury items when they aren't, which is the real issue. With a growing number of older single women, parents are often the most anxious. They push for marriage because they hope their children will settle down early and have a companion to care for them. Parents think that marrying someone with decent qualities is enough. Love is too fleeting. As long as the person has no bad habits and is reliable, that's sufficient. However, for...
Thank you! Thank you! It's like, the freaking expectations of women on men and how they're supposed to behave. You have to play the odds here. Like, you're a 36-year-old woman. What are the odds that you're going to find a man in your age range that's going to find you acceptable? That's a very slim amount of people for a long-term situation. So you have to settle down and go, okay, does he have any bad habits that are going to interfere with our ability to have a healthy relationship? No. Okay, good. That's basically it. Is he attracted to me? Am I attracted to him? Are there bad habits that are going to get in the way of our, you know, is he a bad actor in general? Is he going to be violent? Is he going to cheat? Is he going to waste all our money on gambling? Is he going to throw all our money into drugs? Is he interested in having a long-term commitment that's going to be healthy and productive? That's what it comes down to. Are we attracted to each other? Are both of us interested in having a long-term commitment that's going to be beneficial to both of us? There comes a point in your life when you're like, that's what I have to settle for. Everything else can be worked out. And even as you get older, it's going to come to the point where you're like, can we just get along? Because you're not going to be attracted to each other. I mean, not really. How many 90-year-old women are you attracted to? If you're 95 and you got a 90-year-old woman here who's like, yeah, I'll take care of your business in the bedroom, that might be your only option. Just got to be realistic about this stuff.
For educated women, marriage cannot just be settled for, and their unwillingness to settle gradually turns them into older single women. Their view of marriage differs significantly from the previous generation, with the biggest change being their increased independence and emphasis on spiritual needs. In the matchmaking group for those aged 25 to 40 in China, women far outnumber men. This seemingly counterintuitive outcome is hard to believe, but after verifying through multiple online channels, the data on the male-to-female ratio in matchmaking across major cities is approximately 1 to 9. At the Wangsong Academy Matchmaking Corner in Hong Kong.
Damn, those are good odds for you guys. Maybe get yourself a Chinese woman. Although, like I said at the beginning of the video, I've heard they're not good quality people to have long-term relationships with. But go to where the women are, really.
Hangzhou, a mother forcibly dragged her 35-year-old daughter to a matchmaking event. The daughter reluctantly said, "I don't want to go." The mother ignored her, dragging her to an older man who was looking for a partner for his son. Upon hearing that the man was born in 1979, 13 years older than her, had a house but no car, and was a local from Hangzhou, the daughter's face showed disinterest. This Anhui woman continued to visit the matchmaking corner several more times, hoping to find a suitable partner. It's Saturday again, and I'm at the Wangsong Academy matchmaking corner in Hangzhou. It's crowded with people seeking love, some for their children, others for themselves. I found a place to stand and waited for my fate to come. People come and go, and occasionally, older men and women come up to talk to me.
嗨，大家好。
Hi everyone, let me introduce myself. I'm from Lu'an, Anhui, born in 1989, the year of the snake, and still single. I'm looking for someone to spend the rest of my life with. Although I'm already 35, I still have a girlish heart and yearn for beautiful love. Many say marriage is about finding someone to live with, and over time, it becomes more about kinship. Some say don't set your standards too high, and just find somebody to get by with. I've been weighing these options. Many who've been through marriage say love isn't what's important. What's important is that the person is good to you and responsible. A stable life is all you need. Others...
Okay, I just said that. You guys get along and they're responsible. And I mean, obviously attraction does play a part in this, but over time, I mean, that attraction, that lustful feeling is probably going to fade quite a bit, maybe entirely. You're just gonna be like, well, this is the person I'm with, even though I think that objectively, I think that she's beautiful. I'm not really that attracted to her anymore because I've seen her face every day for the last 10 years.
Say you should marry someone you love deeply, because marriage will bring many challenges you've never considered before, and if you don't love him enough, you'll become unhappy, bitter, or even depressed. Since I've never been married, I really don't know which path to take.
Hangzhou has an overflow of older single women because they take the top criteria for men as their minimum standard. At the matchmaking corner in Wangsong Academy, you'll find that 90% of the profiles belong to women in their 30s, and nearly 70% of them are in their 30s. Their consistent requirements are: men must be at least 1.75 meters tall, look decent, be within 5 years of their age, have at least a bachelor's degree, own a fully paid house and a car in Hangzhou, earn at least 300,000 yuan a year, have no bad habits, and be attentive, fit, and caring. I asked a girl nearby if these standards were too high. She said, "Without money, how can you support a family? Without a car, how do you get around? Without a house, where will you live?" All the girls here have the same standards. If I set my standards lower, I'll be outshone by others. But if everyone has such high standards, who can end up with a partner? In Hangzhou, men who meet these criteria are scarce and snapped up quickly. Why would they come to a matchmaking corner? Even though the women here are decent, with houses, cars, and savings, the men have these too. What advantages do older single women have? Quality men have a broad choice, and unless a woman is young, good-looking, and has standout advantages, why would a man choose her?
In a big city match...
Yeah, that explains quite a bit, but also we're going to do the cm to inches here because I believe that's actually taller than I said it was. I think it's 5'10". Let me see. cm 175, 68.8. So 175 centimeters is 68.8 inches. That's about 5'9". So you got to be 5'9" or taller to date these women. How many of these women are 5'9"? The average height of a woman in the worldwide is 5'4", as I recall, right? It might even be lower than that. So the typical woman you're going to find here in China, I don't know. I've never been to China or to this region. I'm guessing that these women are probably like 5'3" on average because they're Asian. Asian women are shorter. Asian men are shorter. 5'3". You need a man who's 6 inches taller than you on average? At least 6 inches taller than you? This is so ridiculous. I can't believe that I have to sit here and argue for women to lower their height standards. Like I say, if you're the same height as the man and you want him to be taller than you, I understand. If a woman's 5'9", I can understand her going, yeah, I want a guy who's 5'9". I get it. Makes sense. If a woman's 5'8", I can understand her saying, I want a man who's 5'9". I get it. Men want shorter women. It's just the way that we are biologically, right? But these requirements are so... It's like, really, you're going to pass up a guy who could be really good to you just because he's 3 inches shorter than you want him to be. Okay.
Matchmaking market, especially in parks with clear pricing for matchmaking, it has become a place for bargaining. Currently, the marriage agency's registrations also show more women and fewer men, with women generally being older. This is similar to matchmaking in parks, where appearance, work, education, and family background are all considered. Perhaps these conditions are part of what constitutes love. A traditional Chinese custom says a man should get married on coming of age, and so should a woman. This has persisted for thousands of years, especially for women. However, this traditional custom began to break down after the 20th century. Many people believe that due to the long-term implementation of the one-child policy and the preference for boys over girls, there has always been a situation in China where there are more men than women. According to authoritative data from demographers, the gender ratio in China is 117 to 100, with 30 to 40 million more males than females. Official data also shows that in 2021, the number of single people over the age of 15 in China reached a record high of 239 million. The number of marriage registrations hit a historic low in 2022. A survey by the Chinese Communist Youth League in 2021 of about 2,900 unmarried urban young people found that 44% of women do not plan to get married. Many women, after giving up on marriage, form a stable single life. On Chinese social media, if women in their 30s or 40s post with tags like "no marriage, no children," they often receive thousands of likes or more. It's important to understand that leftover women are not single because they can't get married, but because they refuse to marry for the sake of marriage. Professors...
Well, there's your problem. They just said that it's the women doing this. I don't know what to tell you. If you're not going to get married because you just choose not to get married, then you're going to be single. So I'm assuming they're not complaining about that anymore once they've made that decision. But I bet, you know what, they do. They still do. Women complain about everything. I complained that I chose not to get married. Oh, okay, well, why'd you make that choice? Was it for legitimate reasons, or was it because your standards are too high?
Su Xiaoling from the University of California, Davis, believes that this choice is related to women's educational levels. She said, women with a college education become more determined to assert their rights and social status. Well-educated women find it increasingly difficult to find suitable men who share the same views on women's rights. She also said, there's an excess of highly educated women, but a shortage...
Yep, women's rights, just what we don't need.
...of highly educated men. Many leftover women have high standards, viewing many men as unambitious or lacking prospects. They believe that their knowledge and talents require men who are financially secure, good-looking...
Well, it's not really that men are not ambitious. It's just a matter of the effort versus reward, right? How much work do I have to put in to become financially independent? I don't know. In China, I mean, it's communist, so I don't know their economic situation there. I can't explain it to you. Can't even explain the American economic situation to you. And I live here because it's too complicated. And I'm not an economist. Men are pretty simple, though. I'm happy doing my thing that I enjoy doing. I don't need more than that. If I have that, I have all of my other needs met, why do I care?
And high of character. However, in reality, most men are ordinary, and high-quality men have a wide range of choices and often marry and have children early. Many Chinese men often compare a woman's youth to fruit. The fresher the fruit, the more buyers it attracts. As the fruit sits and withers, its price drops. Eventually, even at a big discount, it still may not sell. This is the current situation of leftover women. A leftover woman would complain, there are no good men in the world.
Except they're not discounting themselves. Their standards have gone up. They said earlier in the video, their standards have risen as they've aged. Did I miss that? Did I mishear them? What? And so their standards are going up as they're getting older and they're less valuable in the eyes of men. Explain it to me. This is the same thing happening in America. It's so funny to me that this is the same exact thing happening in the United States. These women, their standards go up as they get older. I don't get it.
I haven't met any man who meets my standards. However, the increase in the number of leftover women in Chinese society will inevitably lead to a rise in leftover men. These women often live in their own fantasy, often have high-paying jobs, and are economically independent, allowing them the option to remain single. On the contrary, leftover men are different. First, there is a large absolute surplus of marriageable men, and they are often at a disadvantage. Their main problems are economic and cultural disadvantages, social exclusion, and discrimination. A deeper phenomenon is the current instability in China's employment situation, which makes men afraid to get married. Without a stable economic foundation, they cannot afford to start a family. This marginalized social group is likely to bring significant negative impacts on society. If there's a sudden event in society, such as a civil dispute, a conflict between officials and citizens, or mass unemployment, these leftover men could be the main force behind serious social conflicts. In fact, in recent years, these leftover men have been linked to many instances of mass violence in society.
Surprise, surprise, surprise. This is what I've always said. The reason that men commit these mass shooting events and things of that nature is because they don't have a healthy relationship, healthy romantic relationship. Now, that's not always true. There are men who are in relationships who do out and do this stuff, but typically what we see is it's these loners who don't fit into society because they don't know how to, largely, and also because America is so disparate. I mean, I don't even talk to my neighbors. There's a neighbor on one side of me I talk to, the neighbor on the other side I don't even talk to. And you might be like, oh, well, go talk to him. Like every time I see him, I say hi or whatever, but they never have initiated any of that. They'll like, look down and like, look, you can say hi to me. I'm not going to hurt you. I have to live next to you. The last thing I want to do is hurt you. So anyway, go to China, guys, I guess, wherever this province is. You can Hopefully you wrote it down as you're watching, because I don't want you to have to watch through the video again to find that province. Go there and get some women, maybe. I don't know. If you have money, especially. I mean, if you have money, you don't even need... Screw these women. If you got money, you're getting 20-year-olds, right? Look at Leonardo DiCaprio. Leo gets himself a fine woman every few years. It just replaces her. Can you blame him? I mean, how many out there of you listening to this video would do the same thing if you had the ability to? Anyway, again, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.